we are kicking off the first week of 2023 with Tesla delivery numbers, and we got those numbers for you here in this video. A little bit worse than expectations, but I do think the stock will actually perform very bullish off of this information, and we're going to talk about why here in this video. So if that sounds like something you want to hear, then stay tuned, do me a favor, and hit that like button for me, baby. Let's get straight into this video, guys. So Tesla stock, let's just talk the charts. Let's talk what has been going on as of recently. We all pretty much know there has been a lot of selling. A lot of it has to do with tax loss harvesting. It's no surprise that on December 28th, the last 2 trading days of 2022, the stock has actually been green both of those days, because the last 2 trading days, really the last 3rd trading day, is the last day that you can tax loss harvest a stock, because it's not going to settle before the end of the year. And I think that's a big reason why even on Friday the markets were down about 0.25%, but Tesla stock was up 1.12% and up 0.25% in after hours. It is that rebuying, that repositioning from hedge funds that previously sold Tesla that caused this chart to look so terrible, buying back in, because a lot of people fail to realize, yes, the federal funds rate is 5%. Yes, we are facing the possibility of a recession. Yes, automakers don't tend to do well during recessions, but people are forgetting that if we get a mild recession, right, we're talking less than 1% or less than 2% GDP decline, Tesla offers a growth rate that you virtually cannot get on the size and scale of Tesla. So what I mean by that is there's very few companies that have $20+ billion of revenue a year that is not going away. Like, the chance of Tesla going bankrupt, it would have to get really bad. It would have to get like 2008 again, and you don't have a debt crisis like that. So I don't even think that is necessarily a possibility right now. So Tesla is going to be around, but Tesla is also in a field that will continue to keep growing at very aggressive clips. Tesla grew over 40% in 2022, as challenging of a year as that was, and we're expecting a similar number of growth, a similar percentage of growth, I should say, in 2023. So if you're not seeing growth in the economy, if your Coca-Cola stock is not giving you, better numbers than it did last year, this year, or your gaming company or XYZ other company, we could go on and on about that. Not the point here. Tesla offers that growth. So investors, they tend to buy growth during recessions because nowhere else has it, right? And higher quality growth is where investors want to be, and Tesla is the definition of higher quality growth. Also, something that makes me very bullish on Tesla personally, because I do not own a Tesla yet, but the tax credit. So starting on January 1st for the Model 3s and the Model Ys, you can now get that infamous $7,500 tax credit. And the way that it works is very interesting. So it costs about $4,000 to get a down payment on a Model 3, Model Y. It just depends on what you want to get with it. If you get the full self-driving, if you get the whole shebang, or if you just get the car, numbers can vary a little bit. But let's call it $4,000. The average someone puts down on a Tesla and actually takes a loan out on the vehicle. Well, you're putting down $4,000, but you instantly get a $7,500 tax credit back. So it makes a lot of sense for people to go out and buy Teslas starting January 1st of 2023, myself included. It makes me look at a Tesla a little bit different, because you do get that tax benefit now, and it will help you on your tax burden at the end of 2023, right? 2024 taxes. So I think that will actually cause a lot of domestic demand for Tesla compared to other vehicles, compared to GM electric vehicles or some other companies, right? And I do think that is a pretty big incentive. And I do think it will help Tesla out tremendously on its delivery numbers, on its revenue numbers for 2023. And I think that really is getting underplayed when it comes to Tesla stock and where the delivery numbers could be in 2023. Nonetheless, let's get into the current delivery numbers. And boy, are they not good, but they're also not bad at the same time. Tesla reports 1.31 million deliveries in 2022, growth of 40% over last year. Tesla just reported 2022 year-end vehicle production and delivery numbers. In the fourth quarter, Tesla reported deliveries of 405,278 vehicles and production of 439,701 vehicles. That brings Tesla's 2022 full year deliveries to around 1.31 million vehicles. In 2021, Tesla reported 308,600 vehicle deliveries in the fourth quarter and full year deliveries around 936,172 vehicles. Now, you might ask, what was the consensus estimate for Tesla deliveries? Now, over the past couple of weeks, the consensus view of where deliveries are going to be for the fourth quarter have been coming down. So at the peak in the summertime, it was estimated fourth quarter would be around 450,000 vehicle deliveries. It's been coming down ever since then. So on the lower end range, you got estimates of about 409,000 vehicle deliveries. On the higher end, you were sitting at about 420,000 vehicle deliveries. So you did miss the average consensus by about 15,000 vehicles, but that actually happened in Q3 of 2022, or maybe it was Q2 of 2022. You can get these mixed up very easily. I believe it was Q2 2022 where you've seen a pretty big decline from Q1, and they actually missed the estimates, but the stock actually rallied off of it, right? For obviously probably different reasons back then. It just depends from quarter to quarter, really. But I do think this vehicle delivery number was much better than where the stock was saying it could go. The stock falling this much to its support levels back here in September of 2020, it really shows that people were kind of thinking the delivery numbers could come in really bad. You didn't get that really bad outcome. You got slightly bad at best. Still a record delivery number for Tesla. And I do think investors will rejoice off of this, and it will be seen as a positive thing because, like I said, guys, growth is going to be scarce. The quality of Tesla growth is almost unmatched in the EV space. And you're also expecting revenue to grow 37% in 2023. It's just going to be hard for people to not be invested in Tesla. And that goes back to the tax loss harvesting that has taken place. Right about now, a lot of people are going to start being able to buy back Tesla stock. If you're unaware of how tax loss harvesting works, if you sell a stock to write it off on taxes, to write that loss off on taxes, you got to wait 30 days. Well, those 30 days are going to start rolling in January, and a lot of funds, they need to be allocated in, whether it's ESG, whether it's EV, whether it's just growth in general. They gotta, to a certain extent, own Tesla or own something similar to Tesla. But again, where's the competition in electric vehicles other than Tesla? There's really none. And this is only with the electric vehicle side, not to mention solar panels, not to mention everything else that they have going on the sidelines. Now, one of the biggest things in 2023, though, I think shareholders are really going to pay attention to is who is running Tesla. Because Elon Musk, he's half running Tesla right now. He's running Twitter, seems to be, more than he's running Tesla. And there was that Twitter poll that came out where Elon said, should he step down from being Twitter CEO or whatever, and the overwhelming consensus view was yes, he should focus on Tesla. So if we can get some more clarity on that, if Elon really relaxes from Twitter and focuses on Tesla more, I do think that will be a positive thing for the stock. After all, that is the second highest concern of institutional investors when owning Tesla is Elon Musk. And if that factor can go away in 2023, it's going to be very good. Now, for this week, we got to take a look at the option activity, we got to take a look at the short interest numbers, because this gives you a gauge of how hedge funds and big money are feeling on the company. Now, as you've seen on Friday, 576 interesting option orders. So this is not every option order. These are the ones that make Ortex flag them as interesting. Maybe it's the quantity, maybe it's if they wanted to get into a position right away, maybe it's a large amount. Couple of different reasons there. Hopefully you're catching the drift. Well, Ortex flagged 576 orders on Friday alone, worth $529 million. Get it? With a positive order value of 87%. That means if you put $100 into Tesla options, $87 of that $100 was bullish, was calls, was selling puts, was bullish. $13 of that $100 was bearish. So the overwhelming consensus, at least on Friday, and even for the better part of last week, the last 2-3-ish trading days of 2023, was overwhelmingly bullish. Now, if you take a look at the short interest as well, you can see it's been very low, which I like to point this out, not because Tesla is a short squeeze candidate or anything like that, but it goes to show that when the stock has fallen this much and the short interest is only at 2.64%, it's really been a lot of tax loss harvesting. Like, you can't say shorts are doubling down on the stock, they're going crazy, they're just trying to push the stock into the ground. It's not the case when the short interest is 2.5%. It's a lot of tax loss harvesting, and that potentially means a lot of rebuying back in shortly down the line, guys. So there is that information. If we take a look at the charts, like I said, you hit that long-term support level, September of 2020, you instantly bounce off of that around 108, around 110, around that level, that range, and you have seen a 3% positive gain on, this was December 28th, December 29th, you've seen the stock go up 8%, and on Friday, December 30th, you've seen the stock go up 1.12%. So you're definitely in this bottoming pattern for Tesla. If we pull up the indicators, the RSI, was way under 30. This was like crash territory. If you take a look down here where my cursor is, it's been very bad, right? But you did get a move above 30 briefly on Friday before getting pushed down. This did cause a bullish technical indicator to be flagged on Tesla, something we have not seen in months now. And the volume was actually very high last week as well, almost record volume on Tesla stock, over 200 million shares consistently trading hands for much of last week. Well, when the RSI is this low, that's probably going to be the case. But when it's this low, you've always made money buying Tesla stock. And I don't think this time around is going to be any exception. And I do think the stock, if we get a positive reaction, if we get a lot of that positioning back into the company, you could be targeting that 155 to 165 range in a very short amount of time. After all, that would put us back to, early December levels. That would put us back to where we were less than a month ago, right? So you can really see how the selling picked up in the month of December, guys. So if you can't tell, I am very bullish on Tesla. Leave your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.